Hello, brothers and sisters on the Draconic Path. This is Fifth Planes, again here with some Draconic wisdom from what I've learned, being an ancient soul. There's different levels in the multiverse. I'm going more on the multiverse type topic here. Like, a universe is made and consists of a variety of overlaying dimensional frequencies in a single space, in a cosmic space, and each universe is unique in its own way, and there's also parallels to that as well. And some of the things that people also need to understand is, like, different universes are different collective dimensional frequencies. And within each of those frequencies, there's dimensions and parallels within that. Like, for instance, our universe consists of a ton of dimensions up and a ton of dimensions down, and there's tons of parallels. And, like, a lot of areas in the universe, just our universe itself, are different dimensional frequencies. Like, where we're at in the Milky Way galaxy is at its own dimensional frequency. And each dimensional frequency is consisted of how our planetary system sun keeps us safe in its heliosphere in a way. So, for instance, our dimension 3/4D that we live here is all the planets within our planetary system are at that same dimensional frequency because we're surrounded by the sun's heliosphere. And say if you've gone to, like, another spot in the another galaxy, like the Draco realm, and like in the different star systems, like if you go to another star that's even within the same galaxy, it can vibrate at a completely different dimensional frequency, based on the sun that surrounds those planetary bodies. Like, for instance, different races like the Nordics, they exist at a 9D type frequency. I've met a few of them myself. And some would say, like, how can you meet these other beings, on the Draconic Path? Well, we can travel wherever we want to. Our souls are travelers. Tim Hoya touches on that some, but shout out to him on that again. But I want to go through my experience on that. My experience on that was, I used to help do a lot of astral work. So I've gone to, like, different spaces to learn. Like, I've actually helped different races at different dimensional frequencies with some of the stuff that they do. And I learned from them and took that knowledge and absorbed it, because I'm one of those dragon souls that I just crave knowledge. I can't have enough of it. But yes. And, like, when I helped, like, these different beings, like, there was one culture that I visited astrally that's not of this planet. They're in a 90, I believe, and their planetary body was all united, and they really had no wars amongst them. And actually, they have their planet divided into different grouping, like not really divided, just different groups choose to live in different areas. Like there was this one group that was more of a nomadic group on that planet in the 90 that I visited, and they had me help them. They wanted help with constructing a something similar to what we have here on Earth, Stonehenge. And there I helped construct their Stonehenge for them because they didn't really believe in like using technology. They were more on the spiritual ascended process. Well, they were more of a spiritual ascended group or pneumatic group. They did a lot of their work energetically with healing, by just placing hands. They did a lot of work like that. And they were very connected to their planet and the nature on that planet, which is awesome. Because I love nature myself. And they are in our universe, but at a higher dimensional frequency than what we're at here on Earth. In our planetary body. Because that's how dimensions work. Each dimension has a collective vibrational frequency or hertz that they vibrate at. If you want to really put it to science. There's really no science to it. But yeah. Well, there is science, but I don't know how to describe it. But yes. They're at an overall dimensional collective frequency than we are. At a higher dimensional frequency than we are. And they are very peaceful people. I spent days with them actually. And that they weren't even on this planet, but yeah. And they were amazing people. And then there's tons of other, like these other races, like I think, like studying different books on this planet, being here, some of these beings that people so-called created religions around were actually beings, their own beings. They never really wanted worship. It's just that's how some people tried, like, I get the feeling that like they made a religion based on some of these groups because they really were just wanting to connect with them, but then in turn they really did a number on themselves by limiting their minds. And that's how I view these different cultures. Like, I think my personal experience on the Draconic path, since I've done away with religion completely, well, how could I be religious really if you think about it? I've met these different races from these different planets, so like I don't look at them as gods. They're beings from either a higher dimensional frequency than ours, or there's beings out there that are at a lower dimensional frequency than ours. But that is like some wisdom that I wanted to share. Like, religion is like really how man perceived some of these different groups that did used to visit years ago. And I do remember, well, my life in Lemuria, I do remember these different beings. And dragons, they can reincarnate in human forms and energy forms. They can reincarnate in different forms, because it's like Tim Hoya also says, shout out to him again, with the dragon biting its tail, we're always in a constant, we never die. We just reincarnate and move to either a different dimension or stay in the dragon realm or somewhere else. And that's how life works. Because what people don't realize is they're in charge of where their own soul goes, really. Like, On a soul level, I've also learned this through my experience, because I've been on this path since 2000, and a little before 2000, and like, I come to the understanding that we're all individual souls. We all can grow at our own pace. And also shout out to Tim Horia again on humans don't go to hell. Hell is not a place that exists for humans. There's the void, and the void is where lost souls go, and they face their worst fears and relive their nightmare over and over and over again. But because hell technically really doesn't exist, it's just how humans perceive the void. But there is a hellish, keyword ish, dimensions, universes out there in the lower universes, and I've been to some of those universes. So that was part of my awakening, is I had to actually go to some of these universes and experience these different universes, so that I can help humanity and the earth grow now and during the transition. Because my soul's one of those souls that I just really don't reincarnate on this planet, hardly at all. I can count up to 4 lives on this planet. I've done thorough, I've had other lives in other worlds and other places, and the dragon realm and other realms, but like, I only had like about 4 lives here on this planet, because that's just how my soul is. I don't come here very often. That I want to share that as well. Sorry, I got off topic, but how different universes work. There's these other beings, and I really do strongly know and feel from my own experience that these other beings, they are not how humans perceive as gods. They aren't. They're just advanced beings that are grown past the hatred and spew that humanity has collected over the years. And that's the problem. Like, that's what actually caused the fall back in Lemuria, was power hungry people, races, and like experiments that just are harmful to the planet. But I just want to go over that because I strongly believe that what these different religions perceive as gods or goddesses are actually advanced beings that have a completely different understanding of things than what they themselves do. And so, like, for instance, like, if you brought any of our phones back in the caveman days in time, and they would look at us as like gods or goddesses because of how advanced our technology is compared to what they had during that time. And that's just what I strongly believe is what's going on, where we get all these different religions from. And I just wanted to share that. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed evening. All my dragon brothers and sisters and all other beings, thank you.